Ba-ba-da-bow-bow, Banger Management Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Woo! Woo! Big eyes there, Kevin.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I gotta look at the camera. Now that we're on YouTube.
Woo! Welcome in, one and all, to Banger Management, the Fantasy Hockey Podcast, with Jake, shirt hockeyless Josh, I guess, if you will. And Habs jersey Kevin. I point that out because I got me my Hockey Hall of Fame shirt. Kevin is Kevin's
I didn't get the
big on
memo.
Rocking the
Habs
best
there.
team in the league out here. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna wear this shirt every time
New
we
York
record.
T-shirt.
Yeah,
My mom got me this, so.
All right, no need to brag.
Okay, that's worth something. That counts. That's now I feel bad for making fun of you. But anyway, today is gonna be the day. Okay, sorry. Today we are. Okay, we could literally do this all episode, and I'm honestly tempted. But let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Today, Week 5 news update and Would You Rather episode. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Rate us 5 stars and subscribe to us on YouTube. Woo! Very
Leave a
fun
comment,
saying
leave a
it.
like. We gotta get in the
That's
habit
where
of
we
saying
are
that
right
now.
Yes, it's true. This is new territory for us. So
I mean, now we're gonna be referencing stuff that we're doing on video or happening on video. So if you're audio only, you can become a double banger and bang on video and on audio. So listen, the more the merrier.
Did you just tell our viewers to bang on video?
I did not use those specific words
That's
at all.
exactly what you said.
That's not what I said. Don't put words in my mouth.
Way to
Pull
go,
the
Kevin.
tapes.
Politically correct. Okay. And the link to all of our socials is in the link tree in the podcast description. Yes, I can still say that. Great. All right. Enough lollygagging. Josh, why don't you start us off with tidbit/news story number 1?
All right. Shane Glasdisbear has an abdominal injury and has no timeline to return. So fun for me as an owner. Sean Walker will be power play 1 in his place until Keandre Miller returns in a few games, in which case he should take it. Glasdisbear literally came back for maybe 2 shifts and then got a tummy ache and is now out indefinitely. And it's gonna come out that it's something super messed up, and I'm gonna feel terrible for
And
saying
you're gonna
that.
be like, boo-hoo, tummy ache.
Yeah, exactly.
Get on the ice.
But, anyways, yeah, no, it sucks as a Gostisbehere owner because he was doing so well to start the season. But you just chuck him back on IR plus and wait. I'm not too excited about either of the power play 1 quarterback replacements, whether it's Miller or Sean Walker. The thing I like about both of them, or more Walker, is that they have the backcats. So, it's backcats with maybe a stray puck will hit him on the power play and it'll be an assist, but they're not the most offensively minded players, and it's not a very good power play. So nothing too exciting there when it's not Gostisbehere on there.
I'm not writing off Nikishin yet. I'm not. I know it's I'm trying to manifest destiny.
Okay,
over
we're gonna
here
get into that in the mailbag episode, so
All
I
right,
won't
all right, fine.
bring that discussion on just yet, but we could discuss that more.
Sounds good. Stay tuned for that. No spoilers.
Yeah.
I mean, mailbag episode will be the next episode, so stay tuned for when that comes out. But also, I will say I'm also not ruling out Nikishin from that. I just feel like
I'm
at some
ruling
point
him
they're gonna try it.
Ooh.
I think they're gonna try it at some point.
I just think
we'll
if not
see.
now,
it might not be in a
when,
few
but-
weeks. Maybe it's in a month or 2, but I think it's inevitable as long as Gostisbehere.
I think maybe next year, if you're in a keepers league,
but
sure. But
if
anyways,
we see him on PP2 and it goes well, maybe.
that's it. Okay, we'll get into it on the mailbag episode, and I'll explain why you guys are wrong. But on the topic of the Canes, Pyotr Kochetkov is back from injury, and Carolina will be holding on to 3 goalies for the foreseeable future because that pussy is so good.
Whoa! So you got mad at me for saying to bang on YouTube and to bang on audio, but you just said somebody's name in that profanity manner?
That's his
What?
name, okay? Anyways, I think that just
actually a catastrophe.
it's not my fault. That's what the name is.
Now that there's a video, people can tell when we're just being dumb or
I think
trying to
audio
be
they
funny.
can still tell.
Well, honestly,
now they can tell.
Exactly.
when I'm in the gym and I'm listening, sometimes I'm just like, dang, I wish I laughed more so that people know I'm joking and I wasn't too serious.
I feel like that's not a thing that the podcast is lacking. Is more laughter.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
feel like we're pretty good on that. Yeah. Anyways, this just sucks for all three of the goalies. I mean, obviously, but no one's rostering Bussy, but Kochetkov and Anderson both are probably rostered in a lot of leagues, and now they're like not even 50% starts. They're like 45, 45, and 10 probably. So
Yeah.
I don't really have any interest in any of the Carolina goalies unless you're pretty desperate.
Yes,
I'm pretty
Kevin.
desperate, and I own Freddie Anderson. I mean,
They
I'm
didn't
happy.
even bring him on the road trip. They're like, we've got three goalies. He's not
Yeah.
playing this game, so he just chill us at home.
The road trip is one game, and he wasn't starting this game, so he's
No,
might
I
as-
know, but it's
Yeah.
like
honestly, that's kind of good for him though. Like he's the type
Sure,
of guy
yeah.
that needs the rest, and the travel was just extra
yeah.
stress on his body, I guess. But
I don't know. Maybe he's gonna turn into the Blitz.
I don't know. But all I'm saying is I expect at least one start from these guys on a weekly basis, and there's probably one of these guys that gets 2 starts. I think at
I mean,
some
on
point,
on a 4-game week, sure. If it's a 3-game
Yeah.
week, I just expect 1-1-1.
I think it's going to be Kochetkov and Anderson kind of splitting 50-50, and I think if they can avoid Freddie going on a 1-game road trip and they just take Bussy to be the backup, like I don't think that's the worst idea. It's not like he was going to play the game anyways, right? So I wonder what they do, but I don't think they can hold 3 goalies for the longest time. And
Yeah.
at some point, I think Bussy just gets sent down, and when they get healthier and
can't
they
hold on
actually
to
need
this
more
guy.
skater
You
slots.
can't just like hold on to him just to be like a seat warmer
Yeah.
for the backup goalie every time that
Yeah.
they take a little
Yeah.
short road trip, so Freddie doesn't have to travel because he's
No, that's
old and frail,
like defensemen and forwards are pretty valuable. Like, people
Yeah.
are always making different line combinations. Like you can't just hold 3
Exactly.
goalies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
for
we'll see what
fantasy, this
happens.
sucks.
Yeah.
Because it's still a question mark, even though it is going to be the lion's share split between Kochetkov and Anderson. It's just going to be so annoying having
Yeah.
Bussy
I
there.
will say though, people I feel like are super hype on Kochetkov. He's like he's back from IR. Who do I cut? And like people's goalies are like it's like Demko, Vamelka, and Aiden Hill. And I'm like I'd rather have all those guys over Kochetkov, to be honest.
Yeah, he's
So-
definitely overrated.
I think
he's
I think
a top tier tandem guy, though.
But the tandem,
Like-
like Josh has said it before in the podcast, where they don't get many shots against. So if he's letting in 2 goals on like 22 shots or 20 shots, it's not
Yeah.
like a huge make or break save percentage. And Carolina isn't the team that's like winning every game either right now. Like they're
Yeah.
they're
And
obviously
even if they do
not playing at
win
their
every game he
potential.
plays, but he only plays 1 game a week,
Yeah.
I'd rather a goalie who's
Like-
going to play 3 games and only wins, has a chance of winning like 2 or 3 of those games.
Yeah. I was answering questions in the Discord today, and somebody asked me if they should start or if they should keep Kochetkov or Spencer Knight. And their
Nice,
stats heavily influenced. Like it was 5 points for a win, and I think it was like -2 for a loss or something, and saves were 0.1, and goals against were 0.5. So like it was 5 saves equals 1 goal against, pretty much. And obviously Carolina is a way better team than Chicago, and I expect Carolina to get significantly more wins. But if Kochetkov's playing 1 game on any given week, and that ends up being a loss, like you're just holding a spot that's not going to get you any points when Spencer Knight's probably going to get at least 2 to 3 starts.
Yeah.
Maybe they might not all be wins, but given the quantity of saves he's going to get and also like the odd win here or there too, I just think I don't know. I don't think Kochetkov's that good. I would rather a lot of goalies ahead of him.
Agreed. Okay,
Respect.
on to the weekly segment called Injuries on Kevin's Team.
Yay, I love this part.
William Eklund is day-to-day with a lower body injury. Alexander Wenberg takes his spot on power play 1, and the team is considering to put him on IR. So I don't think it's a long-term one. If they're considering putting him on IR and not immediately putting him on IR, that means it's probably not too long-term. But if it's even a possibility, it could be like a full week.
Yeah, I mean this episode is going to go live on Wednesday, and he is not playing the Wednesday game confirmed.
Yeah.
So it might be the game after that. I guess we'll have to see. But I mean, we have 3 IR spots in our league. I'm at 6 injuries, so that's you can do the math. I do not have a lot
Kevin,
of
you
players
should honestly
playing.
just post your team online so everyone knows who's going to get injured, and then on Discord, and they can all trade away those guys before it happens.
Maybe somebody's going to get rich betting on the under on some of these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, yeah. So I'm hoping it's not super long term. It just feels like
I wonder
I'm
if,
a week or 2 away from being like serviceable as a fantasy team.
Yeah,
But
I wonder if there's any chance that Kurashev takes Wenberg's spot on power
Yes,
play 1.
I was
with how
gonna
hot he's
say,
been.
I'm way more interested in Kurashev right now than Wenberg.
Yeah.
I picked up
We all regret not
Marat's
grabbing him on time.
that guy on Boston, and at the time of this recording, I missed out on like 3 points over 2 games, insane minutes, game-winning goal. Not that our league counts that, but just shows how clutch he is. Like, big disaster. Wenberg is just not a guy who's going to be on power play 1 for long. There's just no way.
I mean, he's just a fill-in for Eklund.
Yeah, but I do think Kurashev is good enough that at least in the time being, he'll take it. Yes, when Eklund's back, no question he's going to keep it. But for the few games, however long it is, I'd expect Kurashev to be there sooner than later.
Do you think there's a chance that when Eklund comes back, if Kurashev keeps a different spot on the PP1?
Or are they bumping off, like, to Foley?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be Celebrini. It's not going to be Klingberg because they want the defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be Eklund when he comes back. So then there's Smith and Toffoli. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be Smith.
I think he's still doesn't have enough tenure to get to the PP1 spot like that.
I don't think he gets it. And honestly, Jakey, to make you feel better about not picking him up, I think this is a really good hot streak he's on. But any guy who's line 2, power play 2, I don't think can sustain this level of point production. Well, any guy who's a relative nobody and is line 2, power play 2 is not going to sustain this long term. So you're not going to be beating yourself up all season about missing out on this.
Especially because Marat, insert last name here on Boston, is about to pop off.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we've got a bunch of Vancouver news because they are one of the most injured teams in the league.
True.
Brock Besser returned to the lineup and took his spot back on line 1 power play 1 and on a great 3-point night. So
overtime winner, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, maybe
with 1 second left in the game.
Yeah, I think it was 2 seconds against Nashville, which is also the Habs scored with 2 seconds left. Okay, well, if we're rounding, then it's 2. And that's the same thing happened with the Habs. They scored 2 seconds left against them.
Yeah.
Anyways, maybe a light at the end of the tunnel for some sort of offense from the Canucks. Speaking of a light at the end of the tunnel, Quinn Hughes also returned to the lineup and bumped Hronik off power play 1. He actually got no points in their 5-goal win last night, but not too worried. He's gonna bring the offense.
Also, I just want to say something to monitor with Vancouver. If you're playing in a deeper face-off wins league, because I know Besser is available in I think like 70% of leagues right now. He is playing on line 2 with Reichel and DeBrusk, which ended up having like good chemistry last game. I don't know if that's going to stick. Pettersson is playing with Kane and Sherwood, which is just kind of wild because
it's awesome.
I mean, it just feels like those. Yeah, for sure. It just feels like those two guys. Yeah, but it just feels like it doesn't suit Pettersson. If that's,
I don't know. I was thinking like maybe because Pettersson is like so soft these days, having 2 like enforcer bodyguards on his like line to kind of create space for him to do what he does. I don't know. It could work. I mean, they're gonna keep blending the lines. None of this is gonna stick. But kind of like in my head, I was like, that's a fun thought.
But just relevant news is that Besser was taking face-offs on line 2. With Reichel centering that line.
Reichel's
so maybe
not like a pure center. Like he played playing winger before he got traded.
So maybe some extra viability there. Maybe imagine Besser gets center eligibility. That would be fun for me because I have that on my team. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I was like, why does Besser have 5 face-off wins? And I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's good to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah.
And on
do you guys know? Do you know? Wait, before we go on, you know Stranger Things? If like you know the show well.
No, enough? Never heard of it.
You know, in the first season when like she's hanging out with the guys, and then like there's like something that they try to bully them, like there's the school bullies who are like attacking them, and then 11 just like comes in and saves the day, and then like Dustin's like, yeah, she's our friend and she's crazy. I feel like that's Pettersson with Sherwood and Kane. These guys get 10 hits a game sometimes, and he's just like chilling there having the best time of his life. Literally has
Sherwood
2 bodyguards.
Evander Kane had 2 goals.
Come on,
last game,
man.
I don't know how that slipped out.
Do we know how to bleep with video?
We'll figure it out. I know how to mute. That's good enough.
On the train of Vancouver Canucks getting healthy, Connor Garland is expected back in the next few games, and he should bump Sherwood off power play 1. So just more guys coming back to the lineup. Yeah. More guys coming back to the lineup. It'll get the line blender going again. I wouldn't count on anyone's deployment on the Canucks being stable or safe. So
the only one that's stable and safe is Arshdeep Baines, who
exactly
heated up,
power
baby.
Play assist last
power
game.
play assist. People mentioned it in the Discord. They were like, Arshdeep he did something.
No, that was I got excited.
Yeah, no, but then they like tacked onto what you said.
Yeah. For sure.
I think we spoke it into existence. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel bad about. I was like, is he even a real person, or we're just like we made it up and now he's somehow on the Canucks and it's happening?
Did we literally invent a hockey player? Anyways,
I think we did.
Back to the Kevin's team injuries. Zach Benson
Yay.
is out about a week with a lower body injury. Isaac Rosen takes his spot on power play 1 and had a good first NHL game. Not too interested in picking up Rosen because Benson should be out back soon.
I think Buffalo may be another one of those teams that's like extremely depleted with injuries right now. It's pretty bad. Like
sure.
Josh
Zucker now got an
Norris,
illness,
Benson,
said,
Zucker, Kulik.
Yeah,
a
that's
lot.
true. Yeah, but they just got Kesselring back. They got Tage. They've got the GOAT, Josh Doan. So,
I mean, their offense is, I want to say, just like I'm worried about
it's fun.
their success. I don't know. It's fun, but it's like when Jordan Greenway is filling in on your in your top 6, it's like something's wrong.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I don't know why they didn't just move Doan up to the first line. I think they just like the chemistry of that second line of Doan, McLeod, and Tuck. So that seems to be staying together. But I'm fine with Thompson moving to center for a bit and getting me some face-off wins. Anyways, some good news for Kevin's team. Vincent Trocheck has been practicing in a non-contact jersey and should return within the week. Expect him to bump Laugh off power play 1 and have a top 6 role at even strength. I don't know what you consider line 1 and line 2 on that team, but I would expect it to be Trocheck with Panarin and then either Laugh or Cooley, and then it'll be Miller with Zibanejad and the other one of Laugh or Cooley. And they're both line 1.5.
I can also see them just keeping Panarin, Zib, and JT together after they stack that top line and just have Trocheck play with Laugh and Cooley. Like, we'll see what the options are, but JT and Trocheck are going to be the 2 centers, and then we'll see how the wingers shake out.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think whatever has any sort of success, they're going to roll with because they've struggled so much early in the season.
And
I
if
will
you're
say
a guy holding like a Rangers guy, like a Panarin, like a Zibanejad, like a JT, and to a lesser extent Cooley and Laugh, I'd be interested. Like, I have Laugh, and I'm like so close to dropping him.
I think Laugh is really struggling right now. I do not really like the outlook for him.
I just really want to see what it looks like when Trocheck is back before I drop him, because obviously losing PP1 is bad, but he hasn't been doing anything with it anyways. And if it could bump his even strength production, then it's something to keep an eye out on. So that's just something, because that's when a big player like that comes back and the lines get shaken up a bit. Definitely something to keep an eye on.
There's like a real chance that it ends up being, Zib, Trocheck, and Laugh, which, I mean, offensively I like more than Cooley, and then Cooley may go instead of Zibanejad on the top line.
Cooley has been, I don't know if you've looked at Cooley, but Cooley's been really hot.
Yeah.
And also, like, the coaching staff loves him for whatever reason. Like, I think every time I look at Rangers news, the fans hate him. They think he's like...
Are you serious?
The fans hate Cooley. Like, they keep saying he's overrated and he shouldn't be in the top 6. But the coaching staff keeps talking about him so positively.
Yeah.
And he's producing on the ice, too.
Yeah.
I have Panarin and Cooley on my team, and every time I look at the the games at the end of the day, I'm just like, if I just swap their production, I'm happy with where I drafted these guys. Like if Cooley's stat line was what Panarin got me on that evening, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cooley's
if Panarin
a
was putting up the hits that Cooley was, then that would have been the best pick in the draft.
Literally.
My thing here is that there's 6 good players, and Trocheck is going to fill in for Laba, and Laugh I don't think is getting bumped off line 1 or 2. His spot there should be safe.
No, but Laugh does not
Even
look good, I will say. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't look good, and the coaching staff does not put out positive news about him. They're just kind of like... They just had a whole segment on how like he's not generational. Like, nobody asked for that, but they were just like, "What do you think about your first overall pick, Alexis Lafreniere, like the future of it?" And he's just like, "Well, everybody thinks that the first overall pick is going to be generational. Like, clearly this is not what this is, but like," and you're just like, "Okay, like this is not what the kid needs to hear."
Actually, so brutal.
Let's kick him while he's down. That's great.
Yeah, so I'm just not enthused about having Laugh, and I would say like if the Rangers are really like, going through in your deadline, like I can see Panarin getting moved, I can see Laugh getting moved. Like, it's not out of the question.
I don't think Laugh's getting moved, but I think Panarin's 90% getting traded.
If they're not,
this will be mentioned in our hot topics, so we won't get into it too
much.
But
last but not least on this, I just think that Trocheck has amazing standalone value. I have him in a points league. Yeah, I have him in a points league where his value is not nearly as intense as it is in a bangers league. And even there, with like 60-something points last year, he ended up ranked like 5th overall.
Yeah.
He hits all the categories, especially if you're in a face-offs league. Like, buy him absolutely big time because he ends up being so important for your team.
Yeah, my expectation is for him to be back Saturday of this week. So Saturday, whatever, November 9th or 10th, whatever it is.
Yeah, and his value becomes like instant because he just covers everything. So you got to trade for that if you can.
I mean, I drafted him in the 3rd round without the expectation of PP1. That's just how valuable he is because in our league specifically, also shorthanded points are valuable, and he had the most shorthanded points last year. So,
yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Okay. Elias Lindholm is week to week with a lower body injury. Victor Arvidsson taking a spot on power play 1, and Marat Kuznitinov taking a spot on line 1. Just throwing that in there to make Jakey happy. But obviously the more relevant one is power play 1. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty big loss, especially if you had Lindholm and we told you to sell him high and you didn't sell him high, and now his value's in the toilet. So I hope you sold him if you had the chance. He'll come back at some point in a few weeks, and he won't be as good as he was at the start of the season, but he'll still be serviceable. But in the meantime, Arvidsson's a guy I would put on my watch list, but I'm not like dying to grab him either.
Zaka has also low-key been pretty good for this team. And last year, they really expected a lot out of him, but this year I feel like he's just quietly the 2C, and like he doesn't have the best wingers, but somehow he's still producing.
If you have to own a center on this team right now for a Bangers League, who are you most excited about?
Zaka.
For sure? Okay.
Yeah.
Because to me, and I know I picked up Marat because I'm still hoping for good things, but I've been decently high on Minton for a while, and I think that like he could be good in Bangers. You
just don't have the points upside that being in the top 6 and exposed to PP1 has.
Yeah.
So.
I regrettably think that even by the time this episode drops, there's a chance that our boy Marat is not on line 1. So if Minton gets bumped into a top 6 role, I'm like not heavily interested, but watch list for sure because he could produce.
I don't think Marat's getting bumped that easily. I don't know if you remember like a week ago or before Lindholm got injured, they actually tried putting Marat on line 1 as a winger and bumped Geeky down to line 3 because they're like, this guy has 7 goals in 6 games. Obviously, we should move him to line 3. Anyways,
classic coaching
NHL
move.
Coaches, yeah, exactly. Sometimes I don't understand them, but anyways, I think the coach said he likes Marat in the top 6, so I don't see Minton getting a spot.
But Minton also like something that I like doing with these lineups as well is I like looking at who's on the special teams and specifically the penalty kill. When a guy's on the first penalty kill unit, it just means that the team trusts this person as well to be on the ice in crucial moments. Like you're trying to prevent a goal at that point, and Minton is the center on the first penalty kill, so. Just definitely, if he gets bumped into the top 6, I'm actually more interested because he has like the banger profile that he can hit shots and hits too. But like Josh said, like I don't expect Marat to get bumped too easily unless they're really going bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt Zuccarello is expected back sometime this week. Expect him to bump Tarasenko off power play 1. I think there's some interesting stuff going on with Minnesota, especially with their power play 1 unit. Again, I keep saying this, but this is another one of our hot topics in the next episode, so we won't get into it too much just yet. But
here's an episode that we're going to tell you about all the things we're going to talk about on the next episode.
Yeah, exactly. It just happens a lot of the news, coincides with stuff that's interesting to talk about. But no, Zuccarello, he's always underrated. Last year, I got him super late in the draft. He's always, good for 0.8 points per game with maybe 2 shots. It's not the flashiest thing, but it's better than you can get on waivers in most leagues. So I think that he could help the power play. They've been struggling, and I definitely would pick him up, at least slot him on your IR, and then see what he does for a game or 2.
I think Zuccarello is going to have more value than people expect. I just think it's always like that, even when he's healthy and drafted later in the drafts. The question is, do you think he slots right away into the line 1 and he bumps Marcus Johansson?
Line 1, I mean, he's going to be top 6. I don't know if he's going to be line 1 or line 2 even strength, but I'm sure he's going power play 1.
Okay, over Tarasenko, you're 100% certain?
Yeah, easy.
Okay. I think there's also a chance that
certain. I'm not the coach, right? I don't have a direct line to John Hines right now. But,
well, that's what 100% means, Josh. Okay, are you 100% certain?
99% certain.
Okay. But I know Zuccarello in the past has played either with Kaprizov or with Hartman. So it kind of feels like it's either line 1 or line 3, in my opinion. So we'll see how that goes. Because I can see them running like a Foligno, Hartman, Zuccarello line.
Zuccarello doesn't belong in the identity of a line 3. He's not like a strong defensive.
But if you have Hartman
forward
and Foligno together, I feel like that's enough. And then you need you can have a more attacking kind of presence on that line too.
Highly unlikely that he's not in the top 6.
I'm just putting it out there that it's definitely not impossible. But because Johansson has been good on line one, that's why I'm just like maybe they want to just
Yeah.
like keep rolling with what's working and then ease Zuccarello in. Like I'm just putting
They
it
can
out
toss
there.
him
I'm
on
not saying
line
that's what's
two.
gonna happen, but
Yeah. They can toss him on line 2 though. I don't think.
and
they
then
have
who they
any,
bumping down?
I
Tarasenko.
mean, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they have any allegiance to Tarasenko. I think he
Okay.
can easily be line 3 power play 2.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't see a world in which he doesn't get top 6. Maybe the power play isn't going to come instantly, but it's going to happen at some point. He's a
I wanted to raise a question for the power play. Do you think there's any chance they run 5 forwards? Because they do not have a guy that's like cemented in that position.
Like, let's not get into it too much because this is one of my topics.
Is it actually? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna do that. But
Jakey raised his hand, so he has to talk.
Yeah.
I agree. Next point.
Okay.
Okay. Robert Thomas returned from injury and regained his spot on line 1 power play 1, and then put up a 2-point performance with 4 shots, which is double his average shots. So that's exciting. Exciting for Blues fans and for Jakey because hopefully this could spark some offense and get them some sort of relevance both even in real life and in fantasy. And I mean it's probably too late now, but Thomas would have been a great buy low while he was still injured. He comes back, puts up a 2-point game. That's hard to buy at that.
I mean, we
point.
mentioned Thomas as a buy low.
Oh, we did, yeah. I think the window might have just shut immediately.
Yeah.
This Central Division, though, is way crazy right now because the Avalanche, Jets, Mammoth, Stars, Wild, and Blues, to me, can all be playoff contending teams. It's a loaded division. Whereas the
I don't think
Blackhawks and
Wild
the
and
Predators... Sorry?
I don't think Wild and Blues could contend.
Really?
Yeah.
The Blues are super good at fooling everyone that they're horrible and then being amazing. So that's
I'm
why
fooled.
I was... Yeah. No, it's every year, though, right?
By
They
being
love
terrible
doing
for
that.
4 weeks. I fell for it.
They love doing that. But there's no way that they're going to be this bad for this long. Thomas is the biggest point producer on that team.
Yeah.
In both,
No, it's a big
IRL
it's a
and
big
fantasy, you want him. So to me, they're finishing ahead of the Blackhawks and Predators for sure. And they're going to have to do something. And I think it's going to happen sooner than later. And he makes the whole team better.
For sure. That's what
Right,
happens
so
when you get your best player back from injury.
Yeah, and he's super under the radar, right? So I feel like guys like, Holloway, Buchnevich, who he's been nothing, and it's just going to get better for the whole team.
It gets.
Are you worried about Jordan Kyrou at all?
No. He was on like
Like
an 8-game point streak.
I know, but then now he's playing like 14 minutes a night.
I don't know. I'm not too concerned. At the end of the day, it's that he's one of the top 3 players on that team. So
I feel like he gets disrespected a lot.
he does for sure. But I think I'm not worried about him. I would buy him honestly. I tried.
Yeah.
but
Nobody
no one
on
trades
the
with me.
Blues.
I also tried.
No one on the
I know. We
Blues
always
gets-
target the same people.
Yeah.
He just
one on the
really didn't
Blues
want
gets
Morgan Riley.
Respect.
Yeah. Okay.
Classic.
Jake Ottinger just had a baby, super inconsiderate, and will miss at least one game. Casey DeSmith will get 1 or 2 starts in his absence.
He didn't even ask
You know,
his fantasy managers what
I know.
we thought about
this is my pet peeve is when they do this. This is a thing. Hockey players and athletes in general, they plan when they conceive the babies that the baby can be born in the off season. Okay, so when they have a baby in the middle of the season, it's their fault.
Are you worried about Ottinger's performance now that he's going to have a baby waking him up at 5 a.m. every morning or 3 a.m.?
Honestly, he's rich enough that they can get a night nurse or something, and I think he's going to sleep just fine. He's not going to go through what I'm going through.
Yeah, you'd think that having a kid would soften up your perspective on this, but not at all.
Not at all.
How dare he do this to my fantasy team?
Yeah, he's not even on my team, but I'm just like, if
We
he
should
was,
start
I'd
a
be really
start a
frustrated.
website about tracking pregnancies
the
for
date pregnancy date.
NHL players.
These are the advanced
like-
metrics that most podcasts don't have.
Trade this guy because his wife
His
is going
wife's
to
gonna
give
give
birth
birth
in the fantasy championship.
Literally,
That's actually so next level.
groinindex.com of
Of NHL is
yeah, exactly.
pregnancy
Oh my
tracker
God.
101.
I feel like it
for
just
NHL.
can't be legal to track this. I don't know why it just cannot be. Let's move on before we get canceled. William Nylander.
We're gonna get
is-
sued or something.
Yeah. William Nylander is back from injury and bumped Domi off power play 1 and then put up a 3-point night. Nothing surprising there. It's
Yeah, and the
Leafs are happy to have him
Toronto,
back.
the Maple Leafs came back they were down big, and then they
3-0
came
in the
back
third.
in the third, which is pretty surprising. I mean, good for the team. Like, they've been struggling a lot, and they just stacked line one: Nyes, Matthews, Nylander. So
Yeah.
that's
I will
going to
say
be interesting
that,
to see
I
if it
think
sticks.
the wheels are starting to fall off on the Tristan Jarry redemption arc, and I think Artur Shilovs could start emerging as a more of a starting as than a tandem after that performance. Look, it was just one performance, but as someone who drafted Jarry in the last round last year, this is this what happens. And if you're like, if the Penguins were sucking anyways and they were tanking, it's like, okay, keep tossing him in there, but they're like near the top of the standings. They can't mess around if they're going to try and actually make the playoffs. So just putting this out there, but Artur's, if he's not owned, I might go pick him up.
Yep. And also on the Leafs, like at practice today, we saw OEL quarterbacking power play 1 instead of Morgan Riley. So something to mention, because
If only someone could have predicted this.
well, if it wasn't the Bagger management, we predicted it. All of three of
I
us.
predicted it. And you, I don't know which direction his box is, but in my camera, he's right above me.
The
over
boat goes up.
Let's just say Kevin was saying that Morgan Riley was, the second coming of Jesus. So we'll see
He
what
had
happens.
5 shots in 2 of his first 5 games. So
yeah, and that's why massive sample size was so good.
He has 3 points in his last 2 games. Guys, listen, he's not cooked. You should definitely trade for Morgan Riley.
Previous games. Anyways,
Kevin said Morgan Riley is so good that he can make boats fly. That's what happened.
I did not say that.
And we just
I
let him
did
get away
speak to
with
Morgan
it,
Riley when I was in the basement, and he told me that this power play 1 thing is just a phase. He's gonna be back on there, guys.
Okay,
Just
cool.
one more thing. Nylander on line 1, his sky is actually the limit with him. It's crazy.
I think they don't like
really-
Michelli, so
I just don't see it lasting. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be really good while it does last, but that's not the type of thing that sticks for a long term. That's we need a quick fix right now because we're not generating enough offense. But
it's not impossible that Nyes gets down to line 2 and Matthews Nylander is just a thing.
I just don't think
that's
this
not impossible.
top loaded 3 guys on line 1 and just leave Tavares to himself. I know Bobby McMahon slander is not tolerated in front of Jakey, but it would pretty much
He got
be
scratched.
Yeah, and then he scored the game-winning goal.
Yeah.
but yeah, no,
You
I
should
don't
not
think
have
it's
gotten
gonna
scratched.
last. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's gonna last. But for now, at least, if Nylander's with Matthews, they need to get both guys going, and and it's gonna help
Matthews has
them a lot,
been underperforming, so
for sure. Other than his blocks, which is nuts. But
Are
anyway,
you
let's move on
looking? Are you
to,
looking to trade your Toronto assets away if you have them on your fantasy team, because they also have the worst playoff schedule? They're one of
I wouldn't
those
say
teams
the
that
worst.
has.
It's a 3-3-3. At least they
Yeah,
don't
which
really
is
do game weeks.
It's
but,
the worst compared to all the other teams.
Well, no, some teams have a 2-3-4, 4-3-2.
Yeah, but they have the least games over the course of the 3 playoff
okay,
weeks.
I'm just splitting
Yeah,
feathers
I
on
hear
that
you.
one.
I like when you split feathers.
I'm never gonna sell low. So if my Toronto guy's underperforming, I'll wait until he performs. But yes, I don't really have much interest in having Toronto players this year. So I would wait until the guy starts popping off, and then I would try and trade him.
Yep, I'm on the same wavelength.
PLD has a LBI and is expected to miss an extended period of time. Chikrin's power play 1 spot should be even safer now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the highest on Chikrin out of all of us. I've had him on my team in the past when he was on Arizona, and I just think that he has great category coverage in him. He has the ceiling of the shots and the blocks. He's not really a big hitter, but I've seen what he can do. I remember the team that won the league last year had Chikrin on their team, and he went off at the end of last season.
Yeah.
For multiple months. So I know he has that in his bag.
With
and I
power
think
play
when he
1,
has the
I
minutes,
like him a lot. With power play 1, I like him a lot. Without power play 1, I'm not a fan at all. But now he's got it.
It's also Washington last year was all systems go. Ovi was chasing the record. Now Ovi sucks, and Washington, there's less points to go around, it feels like. So
I know I keep saying this, but if only someone could have seen this coming.
I've never drafted Ovi, so
Yeah.
I'm putting that out there.
He was great last year. You
I
don't
think he
think
drafted him the
Ryan
1 year
Leonard-
where he broke the record and it worked. So
Yeah.
it was.
You know what?
lovely.
There was
You know-
logic there. Jakey was saying he's going to be chasing the record all year and he's going to
It's
be
true.
sick, and he was right.
Okay, as much as I want to keep the compliments going, I do have a question.
Yes.
I didn't raise my hand. Apologies, but anyways, Ryan
Please raise your
Leonard.
hand.
We don't think that he can infiltrate power play 1 at any point. 0.
I don't
It's
see
just
it.
so strange to have
even think
a
he's the
right
next guy
winger, a defenseman playing right wing. Why?
It's
It doesn't make
but
sense.
it's not right wing on the
Yeah.
power play. The way it works is way different. He's not right wing.
Yeah.
He's just one of the flank slots where you can take
Yeah,
a shot.
Exactly.
And defensemen
Yeah.
usually got cannons. Some of them do.
Yeah. Also, I know you may be too young to remember this, but back in my day, there were 2 defensemen on every power play unit. So,
I do remember that.
I don't think
Pepper Ridge Farm remembers.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I don't think it's that crazy. I think the next guy up is McMichael over Leonard anyway, so I don't see Leonard getting it.
The best Connor Mick in the game.
Yeah.
All right,
Kevin.
Let's do some.
Would you rather's our favorite?
Oh boy! All right, don't
peek.
Don't peek. I saw Jakey just peeked. I saw his cursor in the Google
Are you
Doc.
serious? Oh,
You
Jakey.
fool! You think
Wow.
I could? Aw, man. Anyways, all right. Get your comparison apps ready because I'm about to. Whoa! What are you writing, Jakey?
Mwahaha.
Okay. Anyways, all right. I don't know who that player is. All right. So this segment is the best segment in all of Banger Management.
Of all the segments.
Of all the segments ever across all podcasts, the
Bingo.
Banger Management Would You Rather segment is the best because we look at one guy against another, one for every position, centers, left wings, right wings, defensemen, goalies, and we're going to make you think. And I'm going to try to split the difference between Jakey and Josh and see if I can get them to
Yeah.
split.
It's like a little
So,
game for Kevin, honestly. It's
Yeah.
like trying to see if he can split us.
It's not always easy, let me tell you. I make it difficult on myself. But all right, let's get started with number 1, the center position. Would you rather Sebastian Aho or Nico Hischier?
Ooh, I mean, I don't even need to look at the stats. I have my preference right off the bat, and that's
I already know
Nico
what you're
Hischier.
going to say. Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
I
obviously
gotta
there's
look at
the Carolina stink, but I think both have been underperforming.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, who do I trust more to perform better? Definitely Hischier. I think the power play is just such a insane difference. New Jersey's one of the top power plays in the league, and Carolina's one of the worst power plays in the league. And Hischier's got consistent line mates. It's going to be Meyer and Mercer, which are very solid. I know it's not Brad and Hughes, but he'll have to make do with some other very solid even strength line mates, and then he gets to play with those guys on power play 1. To me, it's a no-brainer, whereas Aho can't even get Jarvis to stick on his wing without Rod being like, you know what, Jarvis, you've been starting the season too well, so we're going to put you on line 3. So, easy Hischier for me.
Even with, I just want to throw this out there before Jakey makes his decision, but Aho's a point per game currently this season.
Yeah.
It might not feel that way because
I mean,
it's been so tumultuous, but Hischier has not been a point per game, and even though the power play is clicking more for New Jersey than it is for Carolina, like even last year, Hischier put up more power play points, averaged more power play points than Aho, and Aho finished with more points.
Yeah.
Averaged more points. So if the power play does do better in the near future, I can see the ceiling staying higher for Aho. I think it's really close. I think Aho has better category coverage. He doesn't have I think he has safer points, but he doesn't have the face-off win ceiling that Hischier does.
Yeah. I just think in face-off win leagues especially, Hischier's one of the elite centers.
But take face-off wins out of it, who are you taking? Because most leagues don't have face-off wins, so I feel like
but power play points. Every league has power play points,
yes.
so I'm taking Hischier still.
I think that's actually the difference maker for me, that in face-off win leagues, I would take Hischier. Splitting feathers, though. It's so close. And then in non-face-offs, I would take Aho. Because
these would you rather? I'm talking non-face-offs because everybody that's listening,
Aho.
most of them don't play in face-off win leagues.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you did it. You split it. I'm on
Yay!
Yeah, you did. But, so if you think about it, the only person who's a staple on the line 1 on Carolina is Aho. And
Watch
it doesn't
next
really
game. He's going to be like a line 4.
no, like that's never a thing. Like
No,
everyone else gets shuffled, and it doesn't really matter what line 1 is because line 3 right now has Jarvis, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a lot of minutes, or at least he will. So it's crazy. It's a disaster. We've spoken about the woes of owning players on a Rod team. That being said, Aho's such a good player in his own right that I think he's the safest asset there. So I'm just going to pick him. But it's very close. I just think that it's a little bit more reliable to get more points and more shots on goal with Aho. But very slightly.
I think I'm going Aho as well.
Wow.
I know.
Brutal.
But honestly, it's ask me tomorrow, and I'll probably say Hischier. Like I also love Hischier. He's one of my favorite
Okay,
centers.
we'll record
Like
again tomorrow, so
Okay.
better.
okay, perfect.
Yeah. That one was
But-
like sad. Like it was so difficult and like so close that like I mean it was good, but I don't feel happy right now.
And I think
this next one though,
I think people listening to this also will like can get a lot from that first question, because I think Aho and Heischer, they've been good when you look at the stats, but I feel like if you own them, both people like you've been disappointed.
It's
if
very
you
streaky. Yeah.
Like
exactly.
we saw people trying to in the Discord trying to get Heischer off their roster because they're kind of like not happy with the production currently. Same.
You're starting with your best two that I think you've had all year. Honestly,
really?
I'm so excited for this.
No,
one.
I had some pretty good ones last
I
episode.
have no idea what's coming.
All right, this one is I guess spicy because we're talking about one of the hottest players to start this year, and I think he blew everybody away. I don't think anybody was expecting this level of production.
I just know this is going to be one of Kevin's players.
It's not.
I wish.
I mean, maybe it's
but
not.
Would you rather of the Anaheim Ducks, Cutter Gauthier or Matthew Nyes?
Well, that's a really good one.
We were high on Matthew Nyes going into this year with, tied to Matthews. He has the banger profile where he's hitting a lot, and he has been hitting a lot.
Yeah.
Exposed to elite talent. Cutter Gauthier, I think we were kind of like low on him this year, right? I wanted, my take was I want to see it before I believe it with Cutter. And I'm seeing it right now, right? So you have to kind of like change your perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, I went from, I feel like one of the guys that was super not in on Cutter into like one of the guys that I'm, type of person that I'm really in on him now. So.
I think that
one of the guys that's funny.
Anyways, I think that I really like both these players. We were high on Nyes before the season started, and I think we were dead on. Like, we were absolutely right that he's killing it. And then Gauthier, like you said, I didn't have him on my radar as doing this well. I thought he would be a bit more buried in the lineup than he is. I think he got a bit lucky with some timely injuries that helped his already flourishing breakout even more. The shots on goal to me is just absolutely absurd. Despite all that, I think I still got to go Nyes. I think Nyes, the fact is that Gauthier is like 1.1 points per game, like 4.7 shots and a hit, which is just absurd.
On the season. That's not like a recent production. That's like on the season.
But then Nyes is like 1.2 points per game, 2.2 shots, and 2.5 hits, which is also insane.
A double-double.
Yeah.
We love
exactly. And I just think that Nyes' deployment, their deployment's both great.
Nyes got bumped down to PP2. Like, that's in the realm of outcomes now that we know that.
That's true. But then he immediately got bumped up back up. So it's definitely like something to consider. I mean, also Anaheim has a bunch of injuries, so it'll be interesting to see how things shake out with Gauthier once they come back. Either way, these are both guys I'm super excited about, but I'm going to go with Nyes because I like his bangers a bit more. And I just think that as great as Gauthier's shooting has been, I just don't see how he could possibly maintain. I don't see how he could possibly maintain a 4.7 shots on goal per game.
He's also like the type of player that he's young enough that we don't actually know what his true production should look like, right? So he's kind of finding his groove in that way.
Yeah, I mean Nyes too.
Yeah, fair enough. But like Nyes has been in the lineup more often, where Cutter is like, I feel like this is his first year like cemented in the lineup, and he's getting a chance to play.
Look, if the question is,
you can't average 5 shots by accident.
For sure, no, I don't think it's a fluke or anything like that. If you're asking who's the better draft value, I mean, Gauthier, I'm sure got drafted like 10 rounds later than Nyes.
You might not even have gotten drafted in most of your leagues.
Yeah, he's definitely more value for the draft spot. I still think Nyes has the edge over him, but I think it's super close.
Yeah, I mean, Gauthier had tons of hype coming into the league. He was drafted the Slavkovsky year, which I don't know if we're going to be calling it that for much longer after seeing his new production this year. I mean, he's amazing. And the other thing is that he's a goal scorer, so the shots aren't really surprising, and that's like the one encouraging thing to see, that it may like not that the goals would necessarily be so elite, but that the shots are going to be kept up, right?
Yeah.
Because right now he's 7 goals, 5 assists at the time of this recording, whereas Nyes is 4 and 12. So, I mean, they're both
Nyes
fantastic.
is playing with Matthews, and Matthews is a goal scorer, so that adds up.
Yeah, they're both super good. The thing is that when it's all said and done at the end of the year, I expect them to be similar points and Gauthier to get almost twice as many shots as Nyes. The hits are going to be closer than I would say the shots are relative to, the category. I'd say, Nyes is going to be 2.25, something like that, and Gauthier is going to be like 1, maybe 1.2. So that's great. I mean, you're happy with the back hats for either. When it comes down to it, though, I'm going to go Nyes which I hate to do because Gauthier is going to be more fun. And the reason is because it's going to come in streaks with Gauthier. So there will be weeks where you're going to hold him or it's going to be like nothing, I think, with Anaheim coming back and being a good team, and we'll see the line shuffling, etc. Plus, young players are streaky, so it is what it is. And then Nyes is going to be stapled to Matthews or Tavares and power play one all year. So even though, let's say, they both get around 80 points this year, which would be amazing, and the back categories are a little bit more outstanding / fun for Gauthier, why I'm choosing Nyes is because those 80 points are going to come like, once every 2 games he will get 1 or 2 points. Whereas for Gauthier, it's going to be like, 3 points in a game and then no points for 3 to 4 games type thing. That's the way I see it shaking out. Yeah.
I'm also going Nyes since nobody asked. But
I was waiting.
No.
I just think that I like the floor of the double-double. I feel like that's a guarantee, it feels like.
Yeah.
And
That's the thing, like Gautier's shots, like they're unreal, and I don't think he's gonna stop shooting. But 4.7 is just unsustainable for anyone.
Yeah.
Even like McKinnon doesn't shoot 4.7.
He can hover. I think Gauthier can end the season
4.
at like a 3.5 or 3.8 type of thing.
Yeah.
And that's also enough to be like an extreme value. I do think right now, if you're looking at his game log and you're looking at his stats, he's a sell high, absolutely. Like, I do not think he ends the
You
season
get
as
like
a
a
point
top
per
3
game.
round pick in return, honestly.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, you could be tempted to trade Cutter Gauthier for like a Panarin, and Panarin I feel like is the buy low right now. Everybody wants to buy Panarin, and the Panarin owners or everybody wants to sell Panarin. So I feel like it's a match made in heaven where everybody wants to buy and everybody wants to sell. So
I would like that one. Yeah.
yeah, that would be
Alright,
crazy.
what's next?
Anyways, next one. Talk about right wingers here. So Cole Caulfield or Jason Robertson.
This one's
I didn't want to put Jason Robertson here. I wanted to find a different. I wanted to find a different name, but I feel like I use him somewhat often. By somewhat often, I feel like I've used him already once this season. But
Okay, let's see what's going on with these guys.
I'm gonna go with Caulfield here. So firstly, I actually think Caulfield's a sell high, which pains me to say as a Habs fan, but he's just been so crazy good that it's just ridiculous. That being said, even if he is a sell high, it's because I think you could get something like better than Robertson. And Robertson, we know this with Dallas, they're a little bit, all over the place with their lines, etc. And they've both been, as we said, Robertson is sort of surprised to the upside, but I just think that Caulfield's ceiling this year is much more elite. He's gonna be that guy to be in a position all the time and overtime, which apparently the Habs love playing in, which which is stressful yet great for fantasy because it's more time on ice. He's gonna have the most shots on the team, and you know what? More than anything, I don't think that Robertson's, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I don't think Robertson is playing with a playmaker as good as Suzuki. And I know Rantanen's elite,
Suzuki's
but
so good.
Suzuki has the most points in the NHL. Most points in the NHL since the Four Nations face-off. Do you realize that?
Crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Like, he's so elite, and he's feeding the puck to Caulfield for goals. So I'm going to have to go with Caulfield here.
Yeah, I'm trying to take out the Homerism and trying to take out the Kevin's Vendetta-ism. But despite all that, I still think I got to go with Caulfield. Look, I looked at their two, averages, and Caulfield's over a point per game right now with like 0.4 power play points. Robertson's at like 0.85 points per game with also like 0.38 power play points.
0.4,
and then you look at the 0.4, and then you look at the shots. Robertson's at like 4.3 shots, and Caulfield's only at like 2.9.
Yeah.
And if I was convinced that was going to stay, I would go with Robertson. But I just don't think there's any chance Robertson keeps shooting at this level. I'd say he could end up, let's say, 3.5, and you're super happy with it. And in the same vein, I think Caulfield should be shooting more than he is right now. I think he should end with over 3. So let's say their shots end up much closer than they are right now. I trust Caulfield to get more points and power play points. And it's like we said with the lineup where Caulfield's stapled line 1, power play 1. There's no chance that that's getting changed. Whereas Robertson, like recently they put Robertson, Johnston, and Rantanen as the line 1. We'll see how long that sticks. It could be for like a game. It could be for a week, but it's not going to be long term, especially once Hintz comes back and once Duchesne comes back. So it's all going to get shuffled. For the most part, Robertson was playing with Johnston on line 2/3, whatever you'd consider it. But it's one of those things we've mentioned a ton of times with Dallas, just having so many good lines that they don't need to pack the top line with as much ice time. anyways, I'm going Caulfield for all those reasons.
I'm also going Caulfield. I wanted to raise the question though because
the Habs fans all chose Caulfield.
surprise, surprise. But we're used to seeing Robertson kind of hover around just slightly over 2 shots per game. I feel like in recent years that's kind of been where he's at. So the fact that he's at 4 for, we're almost 5 weeks into the season at this point, so you kind of want to try to get a sense of like what the actual metric is going to be this year for him. And I mean, I'm a Robertson hater, you know that. But he's definitely been better than I anticipated. I did not expect this kind of production this season. But the fact that he's only at half his points are on the power play, that's not sustainable. So if the power play slows down, I expect this 5-3-5 production to stay around the same for the moment. I'm going Caulfield. I just think the foundation is set, and what we're getting now is his floor. And I think he can get like a point per game. Whereas Robertson, I feel like it'll be more tough for him to get there. So that's...
And the goals are insane. Right, like 10 goals in 12 games.
I mean that's not sustainable either.
Yeah, that's not the floor. But I
think he has the most goals in OT ever. Like that's how it feels like. It feels like every time we go to OT, I'm like, all right, Cole Caulfield goal, money.
Literally.
I was annoyed when Newhook scored that OT goal. I'm like, you're supposed to save it for Caulfield.
Yeah, seriously, what happened? Exactly. This is not the script.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Talk about defensemen. This one's for Jakey. Would you rather Mikhail Sergachev or Matthew Schaefer, the current Calder favorite? ?
He's got to win the Calder. I love Demidov, but there's just obviously it's so.
I still think it's a race, but Schaefer right now, if you had to vote right now, it's probably Schaefer.
If you had to vote right now, I'd expect Schaefer to get like every single first place vote.
Yeah,
I think that's how it is right now. But there's a long season ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll let Jakey go first because he's more involved with it because he has Sergachev.
So I maintain that Schaefer's a sell high, and he was my choice a few weeks ago. That being said, when it comes down to it, I think that what you're seeing out of him is like it's way better production on a horrible team relative to what Sergachev's doing.
The shots are really nice.
They are. I mean, Sergachev is honestly such like a good defenseman on a good team, but like the surrounding cast leads me to believe that it's almost like when you have a good player on a bad team versus a less good player on a better team, you usually, for offensive players, I would say it's 50-50 what you're going to be happy with. But like Philip Forsberg, for instance, good player, bad team, everything runs through him. For defensemen, you usually need the surrounding cast, but somehow Schaefer's like defying the odds and making it like just putting out absolutely insane production even by himself. So the thing is that it leads me to believe that it's not sustainable. Nevertheless, Sergachev just doesn't shoot that much, and I think that when it comes down to it, I'm happier having like the floor, if you will, of Schaefer's production, even though it's going to be inconsistent. So I'm going to give this edge to Schaefer very, very slightly. Don't expect it to continue. The last 14 days average is at .71 with 3 shots and 1.14. That's more reasonable than his season average, which is, .83 with also 3 shots. So I'm expecting it to be in the .75-ish, but considering the shot discrepancy, which I think will continue, I'm happier with Schaefer, I think.
I'm going to go with Sergachev on this one.
I take that as a compliment because he's on my team, but...
I just think that there's no way in my mind that Schaefer ends with more points than Sergachev. Just look at that. Like, you guys know I'm super high on Utah, and they're proving me right. And just that power play is unreal. That entire top 6 is unreal. Sergachev is the pretty much only offensive defenseman on that team, at least when Durzi's injured, and even with Durzi back, like it's not like it's remotely close. Yeah. So I think points-wise, power play points-wise, easily Sergachev. Shots, I think Schaefer has the edge. That 3 shots on goal average, he had 1 8-shot game. That's not gonna, that definitely skews it when there's been so few games left. I would be surprised if he ends with more than 2.5 shots per game. Sergachev ends at like 1.8, so it's like a 0.7 shot difference, not the end of the world. And then Sergachev blocks more, and neither one of them hits a much. So I think the points and power play points, and Sergachev gets more PIMs if your league counts that. So for me, I'm going Sergachev.
I'm realizing that I contradicted my he was a target, Mikhail Sergachev, for Schaefer. So I feel a little bad about that, but at this point I think because of the hype you can get better.
I'm going to go message the Schaefer owner and tell him to send you that trade.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, it's Like I just feel like at this point, like because the production has continued, you can even aim higher than Sergachev. I also have Victor Hedman and Moritz Seider there. I also have Mackenzie Weegar, but I think that ship has kind of sailed. But yeah, I mean, look, to me, Schaefer's still a sell high because he's young, and Hudson did this last year at 20. He's 18. Schaefer. I mean, most people, who are 18 are not playing in the NHL, let alone producing at this level. But I still think that like they want him to succeed. They're going to give him humongous minutes. So that's why I think at this point there's a little bit of an edge to Schaefer, but it's so close. Real feather splitter today, Kevin.
Kevin,
Yes.
what are you going with?
I mean, it's really close for me because I do like the foundation of that Schaefer brings with the shots for your fantasy team, and from a defenseman also that's really nice. But I'm also going Sergachev just because I think, the deployment first of all is set. He's playing with better talent around him, but I can see Sergachev ending the season with like 0.8 points per game, and Schaefer ending at like 0.7. Schaefer getting like 2.5 shots, Sergachev getting like 1.8. But the power play I expect it to be different at the end of the season as well. Like Sergachev could end with 0.4. I would not be shocked. Schaefer, I'd probably be shocked if he ends up with 0.4. Like
Yeah.
I see that more as like a 0.25 kind of situation for me. So I'm going Sergachev, but right now the production is honestly like undeniable from Schaefer, and we'll see if he can keep it up. Like it's hard to keep that up for a whole season from a defenseman,
Yeah.
let alone a rookie. So it's definitely worth raising the question. I think right now you can make that swap too if you have one or the other. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's touch on this last one, the goalie position. This is, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, but this was my least exciting one I think I put on there. I wanted to touch on some goalies that are not super high owned necessarily or like super talked about. So hopefully this is helpful to the viewers and the listeners. But I'm asking the question, would you rather Jakob Dobesh or Jeremy Swayman rest of season?
Wow.
This is an easy one for me.
It's easy
Because
for me too, but I feel
yeah.
like it's the opposite one.
Go first.
I'm going Swayman for sure.
You're crazy.
And I mean, like they're literally playing Montembeault tonight. Like Swayman has zero competition for the starting job.
That's not
And-
true. Corpusalo was actually not awful in his starts. And they even asked the question like, oh, can you
Yeah.
see Corpusalo getting some run
And the
here?
coach said, nah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But they raised the question. It means it was
Yeah.
worth raising. So I'm just,
Okay, let's say Corpusalo is a 5% risk at taking the starting job.
Yes.
And I'd say Montembeault's up like 70% risk of taking the starter job. So I think that I'd rather have the goalie who's going to play more games and get me more volume. At the end of the day, it's kind of similar we had mentioned earlier with like the Carolina goalies, right? Do you want a goalie who's going to play half the games, maybe less, and is going to put up 6 stats in those games? Or do you want a goalie who's going to play twice as many games, but on a much worse team? I always prefer going with the volume because even a goalie on a good team could put up a stinker now and then, and if that's the only game of the week they're getting for you, then it really screws you over. Whereas with volume, you can make up for a bad game over the course of like many saves or time or many periods. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm going Swayman, even though the Habs are way better than Boston.
Yeah, it's just the reason I'm going Dobesh is because I don't think Montembeault's staple there. Like they're giving it to him because they want him to be the starting goalie, and he won his last game, but barely. Dobesh has been an absolute
the
monster.
goalie that they want to be the starter than the goalie.
Yeah,
who's gonna have
I
to,
hear you.
Outperform every step of the way. And
Yeah, but also
need the
there's
other
something to
goalie
be said about-
underperform every step of the way.
there's something to be said about like earning your playing time too. Like Monty's playing tonight, right? Let's say
Yeah.
they lose and he doesn't put up a good performance. I don't want to say he gets wrecked,
Yeah.
or they win despite his bad performance. Are
Yeah.
they going to go for him again when
think it's gonna be
Dobesh is
back and
putting
forth all
950s?
I just don't see a world like I think Montembeault would have to play really awful, and Dobesh would have to keep up these numbers, which is impossible. I love him, but he's
Yeah.
not keeping up a 950 and 100% win percentage the whole season. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
I
just-
think it's going to be a lot closer, and I think that if it's close, they're going to lean with Montembeault over Dobesh.
But like, Montembeault does not have some sort of amazing, impressive contract that they need to play him. Like, you can't justify
Yeah.
putting an $8 million goalie on the bench. Like if
Look,
Quick was out playing Shesterkin, like
The way I see it,
they're playing
is
Shesterkin. Yeah,
in the playoffs last year, Montembeault was amazing, and then Dobesh came in and did not play that well. And I think when a team is performing,
Dobesh is
as well
also
as the
young,
Habs
though.
are- for sure, yeah. But I think when a team is performing as well as the Habs are, or just when you have a team with leadership who has a good vision for the future and is not thinking short term, they have to be thinking going into the playoffs, who do we want to be our starting goalie? And I think right now they want their starting goalie to be Montembeault, and if that's the case, you have to give him games over the course of the season.
There's a difference between who we want to be the starting goalie and who deserves to be the starting goalie.
Yeah, but I think
and it's definitely worth mentioning.
Every opportunity. I think Dobeš could win it, but Dobeš has an uphill battle, whereas Swayman has no competition.
Mm-hmm. But then when Swayman plays, they're going to lose, and he's going to have horrible rate stats, you know?
Not necessarily. I mean, he's off to a rough start, but he also started off really strong. Then, now is on like a bad streak, but he takes a couple of good games and his averages get evened out.
As low as I am on Lindholm for fantasy, and as great as Marat's about to be, TM for sure, 100% guaranteed, definitely not. I think that it's
also
really
Boston has
likely.
the Rocket Richard winner on their team.
Yeah, no, he's okay. Obviously,
Morgan
Pasternak's amazing.
I knew exactly what you were trying to say.
That is very funny. No, obviously, like Boston's gonna win a game here and there, but I think that with 70% of the starts, like Dobeš versus Swayman, I think Dobeš is gonna end up with more wins.
Look, if you ask me who has the higher ceiling, I'd go with Dobeš, because if he can steal that starting job, I'd much rather have the starter on the Habs than on Bruins. I'm just skeptical.
Would you rather have Dobeš if he's guaranteed 50% of the starts?
Yes.
He only gets 50%.
I generally prefer having a volume guy who puts up worse stats or worse raced stats than a tandem guy who's on a better team. That's just my preference and how I build my team. But it really depends on your goalie cats and who you're pairing him with.
What if you get penalized for losses, which is pretty
That changes
common.
things a lot. If you get penalized for losses, I'll give you Dobeš.
Okay.
Okay, but you're starting your fantasy league. You have to pick one between the two. I'm telling you, Dobeš gets 50% of the starts. Swayman's getting 80% of the starts.
Yeah.
Who are you starting your fantasy team with?
I prefer a guy who's going to get more starts. I just hate rostering a guy who's going to play one game in a week.
He could play 2 some weeks.
Yeah, I guess. But like some weeks he's going to play 1.
Yes.
Like every second week he'll probably play 1 game.
But it'll be a really good one.
You don't even know that though. Even the best goalies have stinkers. If it's on a 1-game week for him and he puts a bad game, then he just only did negatives for you.
All right. To wrap up this conversation,
I think you've been in America too long.
My take is, in the short term, I'd rather Dobeš. In the long term, I'd rather Swayman, just because I do think Swayman ends up getting more starts. But I honestly am very optimistic about Dobeš, just because of how I'm seeing the situation right now. It's that they want Monty to be the starter. The coach keeps talking about Monty being the starter, but Dobeš is playing like the starter. And at some point, you got to give it to the guy that deserves it. I think St. Louis is also like, he's a player's guy too, right? Like if Dobeš is not losing games, how do you just not play him, right?
No, 100%.
Do I think Dobeš can be...
force his hand?
Exactly. Do I think Dobeš is never going to lose a game this season? No.
Yes.
I hope so, as a Habs fan. But I think we have to be also realistic about the situation, and there's a lot of context that goes into it. I don't think Monty will be this bad for long periods of time, but I think Dobeš may actually be a quality goalie that forces them into more of a split playing time, which may be bad for fantasy, better for the Habs that have 2 quality goalies that can play. But we know that Swayman, I think, is going to get the bulk of the starts. He was paid also recently, so
yeah,
it's just Boston's not going to get a team that's going to be competing this year.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
So Swayman, Dobeš, and half.
Yes, exactly. Split right in the middle.
Now it's up to the viewers to decide that one. Give us your insight in the Discord.
Below.
Yeah,
comment below.
Comment under the YouTube video.
Yeah, and in the Discord community, let us know what you think as well. Thank you to everybody for listening to our Week 5 news and Would You Rather, spiciest yet, I believe. That was a lot of fun. If you enjoyed the show, rate us 5 stars on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts.
Just drop us a follow and rate us. It takes 2 seconds. If you're here and you're listening and you're not doing that, what have you been working towards? What has this all been about? How am I going to scuba?
Yeah, that. Wait,
that's an Office reference.
It's the Office. Yeah, it's Creed.
Okay,
if subscribe I can't scuba, what have I been working towards?
Subscribe on YouTube. All the socials are in the podcast description. Help us help you. Fire emoji.
Help us help you.
That. Yes. Take it away, Ernie.
Ba-ba-da-bow-bow. Banger Management. Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Woo! Woo! Coolio.
That's a wrap.